Right, your favourite celebrity, Mark Ruffalo, it's a joke, obviously he's not your favourite celebrity, has called the LA riots peaceful. That's right. So there's people making Molotov cocktails. Peaceful. Mostly peaceful Molotov cocktails. Mostly peaceful. Amazing. Civil disobedience. Hilariously, he actually urged fans to also join in. What is wrong with celebrities? Like, honestly, what is wrong with them? What a weird thing to do. Have you not read The Room, mate? The majority of America voted for this. This is what they want. They want people deported. They want people that shouldn't be there taken out of the country. What are you doing? Like, honestly, what are you doing? You imbecile. So, I've taken a look into this briefly. I actually did a segment on this on my politics channel. That's right, I've got a politics channel. It's called The State of Politics. I'll leave it linked down below in the description box. Do go check it out. But we did a segment, me and Bo, the history bro from Lotus Eaters. We did a segment on this. We spoke about this. At what point do you call it an insurrection? And I know that's like bold claim, but like honestly, at what point? You know, you've got Gavin Newsom essentially putting obstacles in the way. Perfectly, you know, the police were doing nothing. They had to call in the National Guard, which has now caused a massive issue. They're like, well, you shouldn't be calling in the National Guard. Well, I mean, you can do, right? If ICE agents are having violence thrown at them, and now they're calling them Marines. This was an escalation upon escalation which didn't need to occur. You could have simply just done what people voted for. This is democracy. Weird. I mean, look, if January 6th was an insurrection, what's this? Is this not insurrectionist? Is this not that sort of... Does it not have that sort of attitude to it? That sort of demeanour? That sort of air? That vibe? I think so, quite frankly. You know, I think if the president has to call in the Marines because the police aren't doing their bloody job, yeah, it's not good. It's not a good look, is it? So anyway, let's take a look, because this guy's such a pleb. Worst Hulk ever. So as Los Angeles endures another wave of violent unrest, actor Mark Ruffalo is under fire for describing these LA riots as peaceful civil disobedience. Right. Also urged his followers to join similar protests in their own cities. Right. So it's amazing, isn't it? The people that don't have to live anywhere near the criminals. Right. If you come to the country illegally, you're a criminal anyway. They don't have to live there. And they're calling for people just to keep protesting. It's like, yeah, but you don't live next to criminals, so you're not affected by it. It's like in the UK, all the politicians voting for mass immigration. You don't live near these people. Right? You're not having your towns, your local towns, just drastically changed before your very eyes. You don't have to deal with the consequences of your political decisions. And those political decisions are completely going against what people actually vote for and want. But in the case of America, you've got someone in charge who actually is trying to do something about it, which is what people voted for. That's literally what people have voted for. You know, he ran on a mandate for mass deportations. So, yeah, everyone wants people deported. So the chaos began following an immigration and customs enforcement raid outside a Home Depot in LA on Friday. What started as protests quickly escalated into a multi-day maelstrom of looting, arson, and violent clashes between demonstrators and police. Videos circulating on social media show fires engulfing local businesses, crowds ransacking storefronts, and emergency responders being pelted with debris. That's right. And there are Molotov cocktails being made. I've seen that. So the city has since imposed a mandatory curfew, while law enforcement, including the National Guard and now the Marines, attempts to restore order. Arrests have surged into the hundreds, and damage to private property has been extensive. That's right. Don't want illegals deported. Just have your house destroyed, I guess. What is going on? So amid the violence Actor, Avengers star Mark Ruffalo took to social media to characterize the unrest as peaceful. I mean, it's so obviously not peaceful. So painfully obviously not peaceful. Turning the military directly on American citizens. Yeah, some of them aren't though, are they? And also anyone that is carrying around a Mexican flag going, I pledge my allegiance to this flag, not the America. Well, you should just be deported anyway. Go away. That's treasonous, surely. It's unconstitutional, Ruffalo said on Blue Sky, referencing the National Guard being mobilised to stop the mass destruction. This is not an insurrection. Is it really, though? Is it not? Is it not? These are peaceful civil disobedience protests. Oh, I see. So all those cars burning, those Molotov cocktails being thrown, those bricks being thrown, those are peaceful. Disobedient Molotov cocktails, right, I see. They're treating our National Guard like trash. Not really. June 14th is no King's Day. Find a protest in your city. You're gross. Ruffalo's call to action referenced an upcoming nationwide protest movement known as No King's Day, scheduled for June 14th, President Trump's birthday and Flag Day. The date has been chosen by progressive organisers to push back against what they see as rising authoritarianism. That's right. Don't want illegal immigrants in your country. You're authoritarian. Open borders for all, I guess. This is just such nonsense, such blatant, absolute retardation of people's brains. I hate it. Including a military parade planned in Washington, D.C. So they think a military parade is authoritarian. Are you... Do you have, like, parts of your brain missing? Jesus. So the statement has drawn immediate criticism for what many view as a willfully misleading portrayal of the events. Whilst Ruffalo's language calls for peaceful resistance, his framing ignores the extensive destruction and criminal activity that has defined much of the LA response. Yes, yeah, I mean, it's gross. Ruffalo also accused President Donald Trump of grifting the American people. No, he literally said, I'm going to give you mass deportations. Vote for me if you want mass deportations. And everyone was like, that sounds great, actually. That sounds brilliant. I don't want to live next to gang bangers that are, like, destroying my neighborhood. Yes, please. And then they voted for him. You can't get around it. That's just the facts. The president is a grifter. His family's raking it in with their Bitcoin con. Well, that might be the case, but we're not talking about that, are we? We're talking about We're talking about riots, for God's sake. What are you doing? The dopey tech billionaire taxes your tax money to make himself richer than any person in the history of mankind with his pipe dream of living on Mars while you starve. I do actually think interplanetary aspirations for the human race is actually a really worthwhile project, no matter who does it. Like, I actually think we should all be looking towards being interplanetary. I think that's a really, really good thing for the human race to aspire towards. Genuinely. Rather than arguing and quibbling over make-believe spaghetti monsters in the sky, which is what we seem to be doing all the time now. Oh, Muslims are doing this. Oh, the Jews are doing that. How about you all just shut the fuck up? We can have a bit of enlightenment here and maybe get to outer space. That'd be great. Can we do that? Maybe? Yes, that'd be awesome. And he concluded his message with a warning: you're pointing the gun in the wrong direction. Right, okay, Mark, aren't you incredibly rich as well? How did you get your money? Grifting. Right. And now you're from your almost literal ivory tower going, you plebs, join the protests, and you plebs, live next to Mexican gangbangers. Like, no thanks. That's not appealing to anyone, actually. Live next to those Haitians. They're definitely integrating. Anyway, I don't have much else to say. This person's a moron. You should hit subscribe on my politics channel if you want more of this with a conversational twist. Take care. Bye-bye.